Hello and welcome to this learning session on the Motor Industries Model HCS, our Hard-to-Modbus Converter configuration software. In this learning session, we'll be focusing on the tab that's labeled Status of Hard Devices. Right now, you see I'm monitoring, the HCS is monitoring some hard devices. I have two of them on there. One of them reading a relatively ambient temperature here in the lab, and one of them is a level meter reading 1.431 meters right now. So let's go now to the Status of the Hard Devices tab. And here's where we can use our additional status bytes that we might have incorporated earlier. As you can see, device number 1, it gives information on there, which everything is running fine right now, so my status is all zeros, my status bytes are all zeros. And down here there's some information that is encoded in the hard device. In this case, it's our Moore Industries THZ2. Gives the serial number and some hardware and software revision information. We'll go to device number 2, and there's some information there. Status 0x48, hex 48. And in order to determine what that means, you'd have to look at the manual for that company's product. This happens to be a Omart Vega device, and you have to look at their manual to find out what the status byte there is. The additional status are all zeros down here. That typically means we're operating with no problem. Now you notice it's got a manufacturer's number instead of a name, and a device type, which is 219 in this case. And that's because these are new devices and a new manufacturer. So whenever we upgrade our firmware or the software here, our configuration software, we translate that 98 to say Omart Vega. So maybe later on, as you get newer revisions, instead of giving the manufacturer's ID as the number, you'll see the name there. And same thing with the device type, you'll see the name of the device. Okay, so let's go back and see what the value is here of all this. Let's go back to device number 1, which is our Moore Industries device. And there you'll see everything is running fine and it's all zeros. But if something should happen, and I'll simulate a fault here in a moment. It's constantly scanning, and now I just broke the device, and just give it a moment till it updates, and we should see some additional status. There we are. So now you see a device malfunction, and it notifies us that there is some additional status available. So we go down to the additional status, and you can see instead of all zeros now, we have some numbers in here. And those numbers, in order to decode those, just go to the big book of answers, aka also known as the HCS manual. And they'll have information there. They'll show how to decode the status byte, so you have some idea what's wrong with that device number 1 out there, and that'll help you in your troubleshooting. So before we leave and sign off, I'll fix this in a moment here, and hopefully it'll update here and show us that now everything's working fine. Come on, don't make a liar out of me. Oh, I missed it. Hang on. I thought I loosened the wire and I thought I connected it, but I did not. Here we are. And there, now we're back to normal operation. So anyhow, that's the power of when you incorporate the additional status bytes on this hard tab over here, acquire additional status. That's translated over to here, so it adds these bits in there, and you can go to our manual and you'll be able to decode those. So that's it for the Status of the Hard Devices tab. Thank you for listening.